Chugga 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 chugga. Choo choo. Charles decides to chew you up. And he ain't pretty, and he ain't heavy, and he ain't your brother. He's Choo Choo Charles, and he's pretty darn ugly, and menacing, and terrifying. And this game came out in the last 1 to 3 years, and I thought, hey, you know what, with Halloween coming, unfortunately it's gone now, let's choose a few horror games and see how scary they are and how much fun they are. And with Choo Choo Charles, this is about a deadly demonic spider train that's like scaring everyone on this random island. It's a fairly small island really, but I guess the trains can go pretty fast. And so it's terrorizing a remote island and you're prepared to stop it. So somehow they got in contact with you. I don't know if you're an expert. I don't think it really gets explained. It's not really a big deal. The graphics are decent. The thunder and lightning with the heavy rain really builds up this ominous atmosphere. The game is fairly forward. You visit the human residents that are on this island via the train because there's train tracks everywhere. Apparently people on this island, it seems like that's how they transport everything around the island, which is obviously highly unusual. So you do various fetch quests and you collect train parts to upgrade your train's strength, speed, and weapons. And you have to watch out for enemies that are friends with Choo Choo Charlie and for Choo Choo Charlie randomly appear next to you. So from what I've seen, Choo Choo Charlie comes out of nowhere if you're running around too long. I don't know, that's what it seems to be, and you're not using your train. But really, I don't think you can outrun him when I was trying to play this, but it's an interesting setup. It's not supposed to be analyzed. I feel like this game, like, it gets more complicated than that, you know, involving eggs and sort of cult worshippers and things. So it's impressive that this game only had a single creator, even though it's kind of a short game. I think it's like 2 to 4 hours. It's very short, 2 to 3 hours actually, until you beat it. Island's not very big. The goal of the game is just to defeat Choo Choo Charlie with an upgraded train. So the fetch quests, I feel like they were a little bit dull, unfortunately. Like the setup, when you hear about this game, you're like, this is an awesome game, I have to try it. Once you start playing it, it's like the actual gameplay, I found like it was just, I'm running around the island and I'm doing fetch quests all the time. And the scares come mostly from random visits from Choo Choo Charlie. It's not as terrifying as I thought it would be. I felt like if there was like each level was like, not necessarily 2D, but like if it was a bit more linear, but the fact that you're fetching around, like that takes up a lot of your time. And then because there's not a lot of Choo Choo Charlie involved in that period of the fetch quests and the other enemies, it's, you know, you sort of get numbed from like the thunder and lightning in the game, and like it doesn't seem as terrifying in that sense, because the NPCs seem lifeless. They're there, and they're not horrible. They all have a little bit of a personality, but like they're just kind of dull, and you can tell that they're just there to serve your fetch quest errands and stuff. And the world, I feel like, feels very super empty. Now the game is fun. Like as I said, once you start, you're like, cool, I'm on an island, I got a demonic spider train trying to kill me. But I love the concept being chased by the train, but the result is like Choo Choo Charlie. It's absent when I expected, like a constant ominous enemy, and like I did get shocked, I have to admit, a few times where he's just suddenly behind me because I was running around like a crazy man on this island in the game. And just as a fleeting 2 or 3 hour game, it's hard to muster the energy and enthusiasm to beat it. I found like I was then just skipping ahead and saying, okay, what happens later? And like I'm like, okay, well, I can't be bothered to beat it now that I've watched like what happens later. It's like it's not super exciting, but it's really scary and kind of boring. Like once you realize how empty it is and how thrilling the journey is without the occasional scare, like there's just too much empty space, too many long moments where it's like not scary, you just run around collecting stuff. It's like, crap, Charlie got me, I have to go back and collect that stuff again. Like it's not scary for long periods of time, and that's a problem for a game that's supposed to be scary or horror. Or it wasn't ominous really after once I realized it wasn't a constant scare. The game goes for $25.99. Sadly, I paid close to full price. I feel like it's a $5 or $10 game. It kind of felt like when I was going into this and buying it, this is kind of overpriced, and it feels like a $10-15 game, maybe diversion instead of the Fright Fest I was anticipating it would be. It's not horrible, and like a co-op, if they could do it in a sequel, would be great. Just the game tried to be more than the rare high tension fights against Choo Choo Charlies, and the game suffers. Like if it was just like a few fights, maybe story cutscenes or something, then more fights, it would be a lot more interesting and exciting. And like, yeah, it wouldn't take as long to play, but like the point is the quality over quantity, and there's a lot of quantity of running around just to pad the rest of the game, I feel like. Yeah, so you might not even, it's like an endurance test, and the game suffers, you know, where it feels like it might be a chore. You might not bother going through it just to get to the brief fights against Choo Choo Charlie. And as I said, like an on rails arcade game would have been better, more exciting final product. I'd say it's a respectful 6 out of 10. Like, it had a lot of potential. I feel like it doesn't quite live up to the potential that it has when you first see, like, hey, this demonic train thing is game. Like, how often do you get to see that? And then it just didn't live up to that. Just 6 out of 10 because the game never delivers the unnerving anxiety a great scary game should give. So keep on riding Choo Choos. Hopefully they don't get derailed. And actually the LRT has been pretty good lately, so keep on gaming.